There is a massive movement happening within the longevity and aging landscape. It turns out there is much we can do to extend our lifespan and reverse the effects of aging. What we've been taught and led to believe about aging and human disease are now outdated and no longer accurate. That means it's time to change the current mainstream paradigm and have different kinds of conversations when it comes to our well-being. And it's time to recognize that we have the power within ourselves to dictate and drive our own health span and aging journey. Hi, I'm Suzaida Hippolito, host of Timeless Vitality, where we are redefining aging so we become truly timeless. One of the things that is kind of an essential for us for maintaining our health and wellness are taking daily supplements. And there's so many supplements out there. And it's often the case that we take all these supplements not knowing really exactly what is it the supplements our bodies need. And then we take certain doses and we don't even know if it's the right doses or if it's the right supplements for us. And it's also the case that many supplements out there don't do the job that they say they're going to do because our body just doesn't absorb it well enough. Now, this brings me to this world of nutrigenomics. And what's nutrigenomics? Well, it's about having supplements customized for your exact DNA blueprint, for your exact genetics, exactly the minerals and vitamins that you need at the precise right doses. And here with us today to enlighten us and educate us on this is founder and CEO Kim Ressler of SNP Nutrigenomics. Hi, Kim. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, it's great to be here. Thank you for having me. I love sharing the message that personalized wellness and personalized health is here. So, and it's easily accessible. So
that is what it is, personalized wellness. And it's interesting because you don't necessarily think of that within the context of your supplements. So tell us about the history first of SNP Nutrigenomics.
Absolutely. Okay, so the Human Genome Project realized and understood that you and I, whether you're male, female, whatever, we're about 98, 99% alike. That 1% that we are different is what really dictates, do I gain weight? Am I predisposed to having other, issues, things that deal with longevity, right? And so what they found in that is that there were actionable genes. So the history of this and what actionable genes are is they discovered that these genes, so again, I don't care where you're from. I don't care about your propensity to have a unibrow, but they found that there were genes that could be nutritionally actionable. In other words, I could optimize my genetic expression. So ultimately, the whole behind this and clinical trials for years and years on ingredients started formulating specifically on genes. And then we brought it forward. We're up to formulating on 22 different actionable genes. And so let me explain kind of like what that means. Sometimes you think, okay, my scenario, my life, my family, there's been a lot of heart health related conditions. And you kind of always go, you think that's what you're born with and that's just going to be the case. But now I can see specifically healthy cholesterol, the way my body detoxes the LDL, that make places that I need support. And so these are a few areas and what nutrigenomics can actually help, giving you what you need, plant-based nutrition, vitamins, minerals, micronutrients in the right format, in the right dose, with the right cofactors, because some nutrients need another nutrient along with them for you better to absorb and utilize. And we can see all that through your genetics. I know it's a mouthful. It seems so complex, but it's truly In the olden days, to go get your genetics mapped, it was very time consuming and very expensive.
Yeah.
And now we can see on all of these major body systems really quickly and easily, and we can literally formulate on them just for the individual.
Within the context of genes, Kim, what does it mean to activate our genetic expression? And why do we want to care about that?
Okay, that is a really great question. So these genes, when I say actionable genes, and science has proven that plant-based nutrition, vitamins, minerals, and micronutrients can impact them. So let's just say we've got a gene and or we've got a marker, so we all get markers. We either have them or we don't. We share with you that it's either the gene has the propensity to function optimally, or the gene has basically a glitch in it. So it's
Mm,
it's like you said, it's your blueprint. So maybe it's a detox pathway, and if you've got a marker or two on this, your body doesn't have maybe the propensity to fully detox at its highest capacity. So
mm,
so then we take this information and we know specifically you've got this marker, you need specific ingredients to help optimize it. In other words, to help your body detox the way it was meant to be. If we
mhm,
go back to, if we, this is a scenario I love to talk to people. In reality, when you are born, you don't come out of your mother's womb with high inflammation and all of these different conditions. This is lifestyle. This is epigenetically lifestyle, what we eat, what we drink, etc. So if you
mm,
think about these genes, at times, maybe maybe from stress or something, this pathway or this genetic expression, because you've got these glitches in it, it stops working properly. But that's where the nutrigenomics comes in. We know that
mm,
you've got this propensity, and we can um, give you the right nutrients, whether it be plant-based nutrition, vitamins, minerals, and micronutrients, and we can help optimize the genetic expression. So if you were
mm,
having a problem with, let's say, inflammation or detox, and we optimize that genetic pathway, now we're ultimately helping it to work at its
mm,
at its full capacity. So
mhm,
that's what optimizing genetic expression and why it's important. Because if the body stops being able to do something,
mhm,
we want think about it. If you inflammation can be good, but chronic
mhm,
inflammation is not. But
mhm.
okay, so that inflammation, and we remember we had those detox. So now
Yeah.
we help the body with not only the inflammation, but the ability to detox it correctly.
Wow.
The body just functions at a much higher capacity. Does that make
And
sense?
yeah, that makes total sense. And I'm curious, how is this different than from like prescription drugs and regular supplements?
Well, okay. At SNP Nutrigenomics, we do not treat, diagnose, cure, or prevent. We support the body based on what it says it needs, based on science.
Okay.
Everything we do is based on science. We're very
Mm,
transparent to give you all that science. So we're not looking, I wouldn't compare it to pharmaceuticals. What I would
okay.
compare it to is other supplementation. Are you taking supplements? Do you know what you're taking? Is it right for you? Is it in the right format? Is it the right
Mm,
dose? And the standard thing is we might go in to the pharmacy, and let's see, I think a lot of people are familiar with something called CoQ10. It's very good
mhm.
for energy in
Yeah.
the body, and it's also it's very beneficial for heart health. Well, based on your genetics, I know what format you need. Do you need a biquinone? Do you need a biquinol? Or do you need a combination of both?
Mm,
So instead of just going to the pharmacy and guessing, I mean,
yeah.
we're in the day and age. I think everybody wants something. Would you rather have it personalized just to you, knowing that your hard-earned dollars were going for something that is in the right dose, in the right format? And again, some people need it can absorb one format, some need the other, some need a blend of both. It's the same way with with
Okay.
many other vitamins like vitamin B. Vitamin B, do you need the active format, or do you need which format do you need? That's what makes this so very powerful. And we aren't taking it and giving you a whole bunch of pre-made things. We are literally, we take the information and we custom compound just for the individual based on all of their information.
Got it. And I know, so I started using DNA customized supplements for myself several months ago, and I really believe it's been a game changer for me. I wish I had done some like before tests before I started it, but I didn't. But what I have to say about it is simply how I feel. I feel very like vibrant and healthy in my body pre taking all this stuff. And so for me, I know, because I know my body so well. So I'm experiencing, I can feel the benefits of it. And so now that I've been on these supplements for 3 months now, like 3 months, could you help me understand kind of what what is my body like transitioned into?
Well, that's different for everybody, right? That's different for everybody. And this is a great question. When you say, what's your body transitioning? We ultimately, through nutrigenomics, we are helping the pathways in your body to work optimally. But you made a really good point, and I'd love to talk about this for a minute. Everybody's different. We
Hmm.
eat different. We all have we're different. We're unique. We are unique. So, and I always bring my husband into this conversation. I can't help it. And my husband takes the customized. He loves that it's customized for him. Does he physically feel it? No. No, he doesn't. And
Mm.
I would always be like, "What do you mean you don't feel it? I feel it. I feel different." Where
Hmm.
we see his results is in his blood work. His blood work.
Mm.
So there's ways to track, right? One way to track would be a symptom tracker. Like, and you said you're really, and some people are really in touch with the body. Some
Hmm.
people are not. Um, uh, Another way to track though is your standard common blood work. So
Mm.
some people, it's energy, it's sleep, it's digestion. When the body's making and again, we don't get sick overnight. You're not going to heal overnight. You're not just going to go. You're not going to take it one time and all of a sudden all the pathways just open. No, this is
Yeah.
a cell cycle is about 120. A red blood cell cycle is about 120 days, and we are giving the micronutrients so the body can start to do what it needs to do. So
Mm.
optimizing better performance, better recovery, better sleep, um, better energy, better digestion,
Wow.
etc. So subjective is the feeling with the health trackers that we provide,
Yeah.
and you can also, like I said, you can we advise, we don't advise, well, I guess we advise, we give recommendations of what blood work would be great to track if we ultimately let you see these are my concern areas that I want to get ahead of for my longevity. And
Hmm.
then we tell you, if you are dealing with something specific, here's some labs that you could request. It's to help you guide yourself, as
Mm.
well as if you need to with your provider. Hey, I'm
Hmm.
really dealing with something, and I think maybe we should do this kind of blood work. But ultimately, the goal is, as we continue to give our bodies these nutrients, we know that food right now is depleted of nutrients. And a lot of people are, I
Yeah.
mean, I think, what is it, 78, 82% of the population is taking supplementation. But it goes back
Mm.
to, why are you taking what you're taking? Is it right for you? And what is it? Supplementation is a lifestyle. So we want to
Yeah.
make that lifestyle choice of a very, very complex product, very simple for the end consumer.
Right, right. And that is one of the things I love about the nutrigenomic supplements is there's so much in there that I have cut down the number of supplements I normally take. Like by a substantial amount. And I take the DNA vitamins and maybe three or four other supplements, and they're more like vanity supplements because I'm like, I want, hair. I want to grow my hair, thicker hair, and vitamin C and all that. And so, Kim, you mentioned epigenetics a couple times, and
Mhm.
there's a link to epigenetics and the nutrigenomics. What is epigenetics?
That's lifestyle. So think about this. Okay. Nutrigenomics or nutrition is one spoke in the wheel. We've got a wheel. All right. Think of this wheel, and nutrigenomics or the nutrition that you're giving your body is one spoke. Other things, your lifestyle. Are you moving your body? Are you drinking good water, fresh
Mhm.
air? How's your mindset? And these are all things that can impact our genetic expression.
Mhm.
Stress is a big one. So
Mhm.
think about it. There's a gene that encodes for it's methylation. We'll talk about this a little bit. It's a rage right now of talking about methylation, and in simple terms, for the consumer, methylation turns on and off everything in our body. They say worldwide, studies say 44% of the population of literally 6,000 DNA reports that I have reviewed, over 80 to 85% of the population has a problem with this, right? So if we know that we need something in a specific format and that many people deal with that, how can we
Mhm.
impact to support, to have less, just to feel more stable, if that
Yeah.
that helps. So, but epigenetics though, are it's everything. It's what you eat. It's sorry, I kind of jumped around, but I think it's important to
Yeah.
understand that all of these things, nutrition isn't the end all be all. um we need, but when you get something that's so customized just to you, and if you start feeling better, we make better choices. Maybe we
Mhm.
make better food choices. Maybe we
Yeah.
move our body a little bit more. This is everything that all comes together in the wheel.
Well, there's never a one size fits all. Like you point out, like what's your lifestyle? What's your mindset? What's your nutrition like? And not just with supplements, but there's the foods that you eat. And I just started to learn about methylation. And what is the negative impact right now that methylation is having on people?
Whew, that's a good one. Okay. What I like to suggest people to do to learn about methylation is to literally, to take it in simple terms, Google MTHFR gene mutation symptoms. You will get a
Mm,
host of things. And so
mm,
I'm just going to mention and name what you're going to find, and you'll find this from reliable reference sources. And you ready for the list? Anxiety, depression, schizophrenia, colon cancer, women in childbearing years can't get pregnant, spina bifida, common and recurrent miscarriages, chronic aches and pains, chronic fatigue. That is just with the
wow.
that gene is, that's why you're seeing this big conversation around methylation. It literally, it turns on and off everything in our bodies. And to make it, when somebody says, what is methylation? Because it sounds like this crazy hard word, right? Let's pretend you have a Ferrari. It is a very expensive car. That is you, your body. You are quite an amazing, intricate being. But that Ferrari needs premium unleaded gasoline in it, and you
Hmm.
put diesel fuel into it. What
Mm,
does it do to the engine?
yeah, it's gonna chug. It's gonna chug. Or
Exactly. So,
yeah.
so what? Why is this important? So, in that scenario, I know that somebody with a marker on that needs the bioactive format of folate. There's
Mm,
where we would find that naturally occurring is in dark leafy greens, but there's no way, based on somebody with even one single marker on that, we could eat enough dark leafy greens. We can still support it by
mm,
eating leafy greens,
mm-hmm.
but I physically, and remember, if you heard me say, Of the 6,000, it's between 80 and 85% have a marker.
Yeah.
We need reduced folate. We need the bioactive form of folate. This is a huge amount of the population. I mean, think of the lifestyle in the last couple of years, of the stress of everything. And remember, stress can make these genes stop working correctly, or they can
Mm-hmm.
change how they're functioning. So
Mm-hmm.
it's important to know what format you need, why you need it. And then we also put, it's not just reduced folate. There's cofactors in there to make the body do what it really needs to do with it. So that's where it becomes really powerful. So I hope that did that help a little bit about
Y-
methylation, layman's
Yeah.
terms. Yeah, it's what turns everything on and off. It's aging, right? I mean,
Yeah.
if your body can't do the things it needs to do
Mm-hmm.
to continue to function optimally, and if this is a really key factor, which is it's just one key factor in those 22 different genes, but
Yeah.
yeah, so that's why methylation is really
Yeah.
important.
Well, and I've heard of instances too where um there's and forgive me, I can't think of the specific condition, but where someone had a specific condition and she did all the things to try and resolve that condition. And she went to the doctor, she took prescription drugs, she did all sorts of healing therapies and all the things, and nothing was resolving that condition until she got her DNA test. And she found out she had this marker, the methylation marker, and that was causing her to experience this condition. So that no matter what kind of treatment she sought, it wouldn't have mattered because she was positive for this marker. And none of the testing that she did before helped identify that. So it wasn't until she stepped into taking the DNA supplements, DNA supplements, that her health actually, like, that particular condition started to resolve. And
Right.
so can you
Well, you're kind of
expand on
speaking.
that? Yeah.
Well, you're speaking kind of. I think I should share my story
Okay.
because in 2007, I was expecting my baby girl, and they saw some interesting things in my blood work, and they sent me off to a specialist during my pregnancy. After I delivered my daughter, I just didn't feel good. No, my energy was terrible. My sleep was terrible. My digestion was terrible. And so I started down my health and wellness path at that point. This is what led me to nutrigenomics. I am that girl. I am that girl. I am a consumer that was passionate about feeling well. I hiked 6 to 7 miles 5 days a week, Pilates 3 times so I was moving my body. I ate whole foods. I ended up, but I wasn't getting anywhere. So next, doctors, specialists, nobody could tell me what was going on.
Mm.
Then I went vegan. You name it, I tried it. I tried so many things. There were things that did help, but the long-term stay power for me, and it was in 2014, a girlfriend of mine said, I will not put my son on medication. And I think it's a specific gene. That's what opened my eyes to nutrigenomics. I said, keep me
Mm.
posted. And by the time it's said and done, all of the different therapies, the naturopaths, the functional, all the blood work, everything, they weren't discovering. When I address my genetics, I have a lot of markers. I think a lot of us do. I mean, we picked the heaviest hitting genes that are there that deal with aging, and yes, I've got a lot of them. And when I address them, it was energy. It was then next, it was my sleep. When we
Mm.
sleep, it's when our bodies are healing, right?
Yeah.
My digestion. Month two, I didn't feel as well. And I was like, what's going on? And I think it was pathways start to open, right? And you might have a few symptoms that might not be so great. But by the end of 4 months, my joint mobility that had gotten really, really terrible, the way I felt,
Mm-hmm.
It was totally shifting.
Wow.
I have been on this product now for 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
I you say you take a couple of other things on occasion if I'm exposed to something or if I feel like my gut's out of whack, I may take something else, but primarily this is all I take.
Mm,
So, I
wow.
mean, but I think that's the thing with a lot of people. They're looking for answers. Let's start
Mm-hmm.
with you. Let's start with your
Yeah.
blueprint. What's the,
Yeah.
I mean, do you have it? Are there, do you have the propensity to carry extra inflammation? And
Yeah.
does your body have the ability to detox? And how are you absorbing vitamin D and
Mm-hmm.
the energy in your body, et cetera? I mean, all of these different categories, and
Yeah.
let's address it all together and give your body the voice to try to do what
Yeah.
it needs to do naturally, because
Yes.
the body is an amazing thing.
It,
Unbeknownst to me, I had gone 11 years because I addressed my genetics finally in 2018. I had gone 11 years undiagnosed with not one but two autoimmunes, and
wow.
nobody ever tested me properly. Now, is this to say that did I cure myself? No, I'm not saying that. Do I live feeling amazing? Do I live symptom free? Yes, I do. And
Mm.
that's what's amazing. I
Mm-hmm.
feel fantastic. My
Yeah.
blood work shows great results, and that's what we see
Mm-hmm.
when give the body what it needs. The body does what it needs to do. So we
Mm-hmm.
just want to help people live longer, feeling
Yeah.
better,
Yeah.
and keeping these things working at their optimum level.
Right, right. And yeah, at the end of the day, that's what we all want to strive for. It's just feeling good in our bodies and functioning optimally, like optimal energy. And thank you for sharing that story. I think that happens to so many people where we go to the doctor and we know something's wrong, but we can't, they can't help us figure it out, and so it causes us to seek other answers. And here for you, you found a different modality that was actually, that proved to be very, very effective for you. And
Absolutely. And I think that's
yeah.
the thing. I mean, if you think medicine is a practice, and there
Yeah.
are absolutely, and I mean, in my personal opinion, the future of medicine is natural plus Western mixed and combined
Mm,
together. Sometimes there's going to be things, but if we can start with the individual and understand
yeah.
the what and why behind the individual, knowing,
Yeah.
hey, you have a propensity for this, let's support it, and because this is where one of your main concerns is, let's support
Yeah.
it and see, you know yes, it's like it's
Yeah.
really, start with the person versus, I mean, slapping something else on it. That was the case for years for me.
Yeah.
I mean, if I went through the entire everything I had done, people would be going, "Oh my gosh." I mean, and I think people relate to it because
Yeah.
you're like, "I don't feel well, but nobody's giving me answers." Or it's like this, remember, medicine's a practice. It's a practice.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, and I make this comparison. Um, if you are a litigator, you may not be a great tax attorney. If you
Uh-huh.
are a surgeon, you may not know everything about nutrition. I mean, you just
Yeah.
aren't, so this is your body, your
Yeah.
blueprint. What do
You
you
gotta
need? Why do you
experiment.
need it? And this is where Western and natural come together for
Mm-hmm.
longevity.
Mm-hmm. Well, when I did my DNA test, Kim, I was super surprised to learn that I have the fat gene from both of my parents. And pardon my English, I don't know the exact scientific term for that gene, but I remember my wellness coach was like, "You have the fat gene," and she looked at me. She's like, "That is hard to believe." And and she said, "Well, there's proof that because of your lifestyle, those genes aren't turned on." But it also helped me to understand, like, okay, this is why I have a tendency to overeat. I
Yes.
I had a huge, huge tendency to overeat. And I know some of that was messed up from because I had an addiction to Adderall, which is an amphetamine. So I had an addiction to that for 6, 7 years. And that really messed up my digestive tract. But even after I healed it, I still found myself constantly overeating. And there's a reason I'm sharing this. After a few weeks of about a month of taking my DNA supplements every day, I noticed like I was eating, I could be full, I was filling up sooner. That even if I wanted to eat more, like I couldn't because my stomach was full. And that hadn't happened to me, I think, since maybe in my 20s, but even in my 20s, I could eat a lot. So for me, I see the correlation that, okay, these supplements have helped to regulate how I eat, which was so,
They've helped that
yeah.
connection, that satiety connection to your brain so that you don't
Yes.
want to overeat. Yes, I'm very familiar with that gene.
Yes. Yes. Because I remember I would eat, I'm like, I've eaten a ton of food. Why is my brain not telling me to stop eating? Like I would eat and eat to the point where I'm like, oh my God, I've overeaten because I wasn't full. And that is exactly what I noticed. It's like, oh my God, now my brain is telling me I'm full. And I'm so grateful for that because I felt like for a long time I was kind of mistreating my body by overeating. At the same time, I couldn't help it because it didn't feel full.
Well,
So
you know,
this
we
was,
know that anybody with marker on that, you're talking about the FTO, it's the healthy body mass index gene. And
uh,
we know with that gene, with one marker, a person has the tendency to eat 25% more calories before they feel satiated. So now, like
wow.
you said, your lifestyle, sometimes you feel like you want to overeat. Sometimes you don't.
Yeah.
What I notice, I have markers on those genes as well. And what I notice is consistency of my customized supplement, which is called Code Complex. We haven't talked about that, but um, consistency with that is for me, you're right. I don't have the cravings for the snacks and
Yeah.
things. It's like we've those specific plant-based nutrition and the micronutrients that are in there have helped to make sure that connection is working so that
Yeah.
you stop those cravings. And again,
Yeah.
it's not voodoo science. It's all based on actual clinical trials of each of these ingredients, of why they're put in there, and the dose that they're put in there to support you.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
these things aren't going to change. Once your DNA is your DNA.
Yeah.
You're not gonna, and you may have heard of something, and I'll bring it up. It's called
Yeah.
CRISPR, where they go and they change DNA. Well, you're not gonna go CRISPR your whole body. These are genes that deal with aging and longevity, and like whether it be healthy body weight, healthy gut, inflammation, detox, methylation, energy,
Yes.
sleep, mood. These are all the key areas, right? Anyway, which is everything in our bodies, heart health.
Yeah.
Anyway, but if we are giving them what they need, the body can do what it needs to do.
Yeah, then the body is actually working properly. What do you know? What do you know? And tell us, okay, what is the process that people go through if they were to go to your company and say, I want to get my DNA supplements? What do they need to do for that?
Okay. All right. So there's two routes. Okay. And are you going to talk about snipnutrition.com, and are you going to put that in there with the link? Okay. So you're going to
Yes,
go straight
yes,
to the
I'll do that.
website. They're going to go straight to the website. They have the ability to order a DNA test kit. The DNA test kit will be delivered to their house. Let's step back though, and let's talk about your privacy and your information and accuracy. So we work with a level 5 lab, as you know, what people would want. In other words, they are CLIA certified and CAP accredited. We are completely HIPAA compliant. We own our own panel at the lab, And we are, again, only looking at actionable genes that we are going to report out to you. You become a barcode at the lab. The lab never gets your name. This is
Mm.
important, right?
Mm-hmm.
Again, we test 103 actionable SNPs. So this is the process. A DNA test kit comes to your home. You're going to swab the inside of both of your cheeks from the comfort of your home. It takes about 2 minutes. You're going to mail them back to our lab. And it takes about 21 business days. I see a lot of results come out sooner, but through your portal, the lab only gets a barcode and that you are a male or female, but it dynamically pulls in the content then that I can create these beautiful written reports that are written in layman's terms so that you can understand the what and the why. So that's one way, is you buy a test kit with us, and you get 11 DNA reports plus a summary report plus the 103 full list, which is meant for future. And then we just launched, if you've already genetically tested with 23andMe, we've launched a DNA entry portal, and an individual has the ability to not wait for their genetic results, but they can go straight there. We give you very specific instructions. We tell you specifically which genes we need. What you can do is get your customized and a summary report. You're not going to get the full 11 reports, but you would get a summary report and your supplement fact panel. We tell you everything that's going to be in it before you even have to order it. But you
Yeah.
can do it that way as well.
Mm-hmm. That is so cool. I love the idea of personalized supplementation and that it's literally working with my body. Like the supplements know exactly what my body needs or what my body doesn't need and how to regulate these genes
Well,
for
I think that's
optimal
the thing.
health.
So
Yeah.
many companies are doing believe me, there's a lot of great supplement companies out there, and they are doing they call them customized or personalized, and they do a survey, and okay, and then after that you get to pick and choose some off the shelf supplements.
Yeah.
um, Ultimately, when you look at the amount of the ingredients that could be in this based on you for you, I mean, it's honest, it's mind blowing. So
It is. It is. It's very cool to see. Okay, these are all the supplements I need, and it's in one tablet. It's in one tablet. Well, you take I don't you take a certain number of tablets per day, but it's in one tablet. There it is.
That is that
Yes.
is that's what it
So
looks like.
complex. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
mine. That's in and we give the option to put it in powder format for somebody who doesn't do pills, doesn't do the
Yes.
capsules,
Oh,
or you
that's
can get it in veggie
awesome.
cap.
Mm-hmm. That is awesome. Like and this is so exciting, Kim. Thank you for sharing
No, thank you.
this insight. I I really personally believe this is such a game changer for overall well-being and health and wellness. So thank you for founding this company and taking the way in which we can actually customize our health and wellness with DNA, taking that to another level. So thank you, thank you.
You're
And
so
we'll
welcome.
put the show notes, we'll put the link for you to access all this information in the show notes. I'm sorry, Kim, was there something
Oh
else
no,
you wanted to
I think
say?
that's
Yeah.
great. I think when in closing, and I think one thing that really that I dove deep. I mean, I changed my life. I felt like I had gained back so much, right? But for me to start working with providers on bringing this technology, I took this to a genetic doctor once who looked at my blood work, who looked at the symptoms and everything, and she was blown away. And she said to me, she goes, I have never seen anybody your age at the time with a blood work that looks the way that yours does with all the markers you have. Her next words were,
Wow.
I still get chills. She said, you are 95% correct for 100% of the population. The 5% that you're not correct, it's not that you're incorrect. She goes, they just may have something additional that we're going to have to address above and beyond. that was a very powerful statement coming from somebody who works in genetics,
Uh-huh.
nutrigenomics, and does genetic mapping. And I was like, she goes, "Do you know the impact we can have?" And
Oh.
that is what it all is all about, is the impact
Mm,
of longevity, for people
yeah.
feeling better, aging better. That is
Mhm.
that is what I'm very passionate about, is helping people get to the root and feeling better long term.
Well, we're in the right place because this whole summit is absolutely 1,000% about promoting human longevity. And with that, Kim, there's three questions I ask all of my speakers. Question
Yes.
one: what
Uh-huh.
is your number one life hack for promoting your own longevity?
Number one life hack for promoting my longevity, besides taking my customized, because that's my number one. Besides that, water, good water intake. I feel so much better. I take my I'm consistency, and it's consistency. Life is about consistency.
Mm,
We don't have to be perfect.
mhm.
We're going to have cheat days, like, oh, I shouldn't have eaten this or that. But if I can be consistent to be, 80% of making good decisions, my
Yes.
customized
Mm.
water, I'm good. So
Yes, yes.
sorry, I've got a lot of biohacks. I'm sorry.
Well, I love that consistency 80% of the time because I think we can often be so hard on ourselves and be like, I got to do this perfect every single time. And we're
No,
human. It's like, that's not what it's about. So thank you for sharing that. And
yeah,
clearly, it's working for you because you're
yep.
reverse aging and you look stunning. You're very vibrant, and I'm loving your energy. So it's
Thank
all working for you.
you.
Question number two.
Mhm.
Okay, my mind's blanking. Okay, got it. Question number two. Where do you see, and you kind of touched on this already, where do you see the future of human longevity headed?
Oh gosh, where do I see? Well, I love to work with all of these providers and people that love layered modalities. What does that mean? Layered modalities, bioelectric medicine, Western medicine, natural medicine, and all of it layered together. What do I see? Well, I believe the ones that truly bring on layered modalities, I see us
Mm,
living better longer, and being our own biohackers to do this.
mm,
So specifically, what do I see? Hmm. Oh gosh. Longevity. I mean, what do I see? I see people living better. I would like to think that we can keep moving the needle where there are certain conditions, and
mm.
things that we can truly impact them through nutrigenomics, through all of these other modalities. Again, I mean,
Yes.
I'm nutrigenomics is one spoke in the wheel, and but it's an accessible spoke, and a lot of these
Mm-hmm.
other technologies are becoming very accessible too, where
Mm-hmm.
I am all about the masses being able to afford what was once only
Mm.
affordable by the rich, the famous, and the professional athletes and things like that. I want the masses to have access and education to, oh, this red light therapy, it worked great for my daughter's acne. And,
Mm.
and understanding through our genetics that gluten was not a friend.
Yeah.
I want people to feel good in their skin
Yes.
and to
Yes.
age with grace. And
Yes.
yeah, that's so, yeah, you know, um, that's a loaded one. I mean, there's a lot of things I want. I,
Well, that is a beautiful one to share right there. Absolutely. Thank you for holding that vision for us for what's possible. And you truly being a model of possibility. And not only that, like you have carved a way for us to head in that direction, to realize that vision. So thank you.
yeah,
Question number three.
yes.
What thought or act takes you back to a childlike, playful state?
What childlike act takes me back to a place? Okay, ask the question again. I'm sorry. What
Okay,
childlike
I know you
thought?
weren't prepared for this one. What
No,
thought or act takes you back to a childlike, playful state?
thought or act. What thought or act? Wow. Can it be something instead of just a thought or an act?
Whatever takes you back to that childlike, playful place.
Okay. Music, happy music.
There it is.
It is. Music is everything to me.
Hmm.
It's that feeling. It's that feeling of something that touches you, moves you. Um,
Yeah.
it's
Mhm.
artistry, and sorry. It's for me. It's music, and I'm sorry. It's not really a
Yes.
thought. But maybe dancing would be the act,
Yeah, it's an
because I
act.
love,
Yes.
I can be walking into a store and I hear music playing and I start dancing and my daughter looks at me and she's 16 and she's like, "You're nuts, mom," and I'm like, "I'm happy," and, and you know what? It's infectious. It's
It takes
infectious
you,
because
yeah.
then you run it and they see you sitting there just kind of moving along and I'm not the complete weirdo, but then they're like, "You're happy, you're fun." When you smile to somebody else, how does it make you
Yeah.
feel? I mean,
Yes.
so the dancing, the smiling, I mean, and connection. It's
Absolutely.
unity, the connection. So
Absolutely.
these are things that are they're all wrapped into all of that.
It's all the feel good stuff because it brings you to this state of joy. And
Yeah.
that childlike state is a state of joy for all of
Yeah.
us. So thank you for sharing.
Yes.
Any parting words for our audience?
Parting words. Thank you. Thank you, one, to you for being such a gracious host and inviting me on. I really appreciate it. It's about sharing this message. I don't think it's
Yeah.
not perfect. It's not the but it's you. It's your
Hmm.
blueprint. It's understanding why you need it,
Hmm.
and supporting you. We welcome everybody into our community. We're really excited about where we're going. And we just keep improving and improving, improving. And yeah, for you to share the message about longevity, education, all of us.
Oh,
I think that's why
absolutely.
a lot of people stop, and they give up because they can't find answers. I think
Yeah.
what you're doing to share this out is amazing. So thank you,
Hmm.
for sharing and educating people,
Yeah.
what opportunities and options are out there
There's
to
so
understanding
much.
for ourselves. Yeah,
Absolutely. Thank you for that acknowledgement. I feel like it is so necessary to show a different way of life, that this old model of aging is just, it's not the only way anymore. There's another possibility. There's so many
right.
opportunities, and
But
your
it doesn't have to be super difficult. People just need to know what's
mm-hmm,
available. I mean,
mm-hmm.
I think that's the other thing. I got it in closing. I did. I saw somebody who's a biohacker, and they're touting how they take 80 different things a day, and I'm
Oh
going,
gosh.
seriously. I mean, let's be real. Who's really going to do that day in and day out?
Yeah.
Um, Longevity, yes, there's going to be some things that are complicated, but let's start with you. Let's start with
Mm-hmm.
your genetic blueprint. Let's understand the what and why and help you get to the point that you need to be. And I can't thank you enough for sharing the message about longevity, because people are looking for answers.
Well, and that's the foundation, right? Our DNA is the foundation. Our genetics is the foundation. So it makes sense to start there. I'm really excited to announce that we have a very special offer for you from SNP Nutrigenomics. Kim, tell us about that offer.
Absolutely, Suzaida. SNP Nutrigenomics is so excited to partner with you, Suzaida, for your audience of this timeless summit. So, what we are offering, anybody that is attending the summit has until the 16th to purchase their DNA test kit bundle, which is going to yield out the 11 DNA reports, their custom formula, and that package is $297. Anybody that purchases that by April 16th, the bonus that you will receive is a free small group DNA report overview with our scientific advisor,
Mm,
there's Andy
mhm.
Rainville, as well as myself.
Wow.
These are amazing. It's a $97 value. So anybody that purchases says, we really want to partner with your community, give them the support in stepping into this, understanding, and really feel empowered. So this is the special bonus. You have until April 16th. And where you're going to
Awesome.
do this is you're going to go to snipnutrition.com/timeless to be able to be accepted in to get this promotion by April 16th. From that, we'll be able to see those people that have purchased, and we will be in communication with you. It would be within about 6 to 8 weeks after you take and do your genetic test and get your results. So we'll,
Perfect.
yeah,
Amazing. Thank you for that. And we will put the link in the show notes as well. Thank you.
sounds
Thank
great.
you.
Sounds great.
Well, thank you
Absolutely.
for being with us, Kim. I so appreciate this talk. And I hope you
Yes,
all have enjoyed this. And thank you, thank you, thank you.
absolutely. Thank you.
Much love, everyone.